Hello, who's talking? How did I get there? Hi, I'm Dr. Joe. I graduated from medical school in Belgium, then went on to specialize, first in general surgery, then in thoracic and cardiovascular surgery. After that, I went into private practice, but I was not satisfied. I kept seeing patients coming back with recurrences of the same problem, and it was not a failure of the surgery. And it was even worse with non-surgical treatments. My anesthetists were using acupuncture to avoid post-operative heavy drugs, and it worked pretty well. So I decided to learn it after having it done on myself for an acute backache that no drug could touch. What a slap to my ego. And I'm scared of needle on top of that. It worked so well that soon my practice became mostly acupuncture. Then my son was born. At that time I still thought vaccines were a gift to humanity, but soon he developed repeated ear infections, with the usual circuit: infection, antibiotics, diarrhea, nappy rash, sleepless nights, and on again. His pediatricians claimed he would outgrow it and that there was nothing to do. By then I was slightly smarter and consulted with a homeopath, barely knowing what kind of animal that was. A few powders later, he was as good as new. Another slap in my face. And I don't like to be slapped. I retaliated by immersing myself into homeopathy, studying at 3 different colleges at the same time. It was really fun to oppose contradictory schools at assignment times. Patients started bringing me potions and plants, claiming that as a homeopath I should know them. So on I went to study herbalism. Clinical nutrition was a small chapter in the course, but no, I had to go for the full learning. On that trajectory, I discovered the very discreet technique of gemotherapy. I ended up expanding it and publishing a 750 pages textbook about it, while developing the new methodology of the Fibonacci potencies. It also became necessary to learn about manual therapies, as they were at times indispensable to remove blockages in the treatment. Off I go with osteopathy, orthobionomy, craniosacral therapy, and visceral manipulation with a touch of yoga, tai chi, and qigong. And as a cherry on top, with energy medicine in the form of Reiki and pranic healing. So what do I use now, and how do I choose what to use? Well, all of the above, and some more like flower remedies and hypnotherapy, while using whatever it seems might be useful to the patient and could accelerate his healing. Let's address the title of this course, Prequel to Core Treatment, NODD. What is a core treatment? It can be defined as the ultimate in-depth treatment that will lead to restoration of health or complete cure of the actual problem, as well as rebalancing the whole patient so that he or she is less or not at all subject to disease. That is a big task, and that is what we all strive to accomplish. Yet, quite often, we are blocked and cannot achieve this. The question is why, and how do we overcome this? Homeopaths call those blocks obstacles to cure. Whatever it is that prevents a well-indicated remedy or series of remedies to act appropriately. Herbalists, naturopaths, osteopaths, chiropractor, traditional Chinese medicine and Ayurvedic practitioners, as well as open-minded conventional practitioners, encounter the same problems. At the dawn of my natural medicine practice, I often encountered this type of situation, which was frustrating to say the least, and certainly more for my patients than for me, not to talk about a waste of time and money. I needed to sit down and ask myself a few annoying questions. What am I missing? What am I not doing properly? Before addressing the presenting problem, except in an emergency or an acute situation, is there anything else I should do first? Should I provide some other treatment before focusing on what I perceived being the core problem and the core imbalance? I quickly realized that the major obstacle to cure was the constant influx of toxins, but not those I was preoccupied with, like heavy metals, drug, electromagnetic fields. The major poison ingested daily, often 3 times a day, was food improper for human consumption. Not adulterated food, or poisoned food, rotten or contaminated food, but the type of physiology and biology are not able to tackle, especially in the long term. I will give an example shortly. Once the nutrition is taken care of, it became obvious that any malfunctioning organ should be repaired, even if in appearance it had no relation with the actual complaint. Imagine you're dealing with a neurological problem, say dementia. If you want to have the food, supplements, herbs, remedies, and other concoctions reach the brain, you need a properly functioning cardiovascular system. Then you also need a good supply of oxygen, hence the respiratory system should be working properly. And you need to repair those organs if they are even partially malfunctioning. This is called organotherapy. After being repaired, the organ, like any engine, needs to be optimized. Drainage is an old terminology used by homeopaths. It bears some truth because at this time toxins and other blocks inside the organs and systems will be eliminated, something that started as soon as the organotherapy was launched. But now, we try to intensify and accelerate the beat so that there is no lost time. This phase should be called optimization, but we will keep the old term drainage as everybody uses it. The last part is detoxification, the removal of toxins stored and sometimes deeply locked into the tissues. It starts on its own as soon as the organs and system begin their repair phase and become stronger with drainage. But now, we try to push the remnants out either selectively if we know which toxins we are dealing with, for example vaccines, or more generally. Those 3 phases, ODD, overlap widely and are separated for teaching purposes only. Let's give some examples now. Here is a list of patients' complaints we all see in our consulting rooms. Daydreaming in school, difficulty in finishing sentences and finding words, speech delay, in and out of special education classes, delays in walking and talking, delayed puberty including menarche, vitamin deficiencies, non-epileptic seizures, arthritis, osteopenia. Short-term and long-term memory is not good. Many reports of struggle with school but score high in intelligence. Misdiagnosis of fibromyalgia. Visual and auditory delusions. Anxiety problems. Tummy aches. Temporary dyslexia. Most homeopaths, naturopaths, herbalists, craniosacral therapists or osteopaths, as well as other practitioners, could almost immediately write a prescription or describe a treatment protocol. And we will surely find magnificently indicated remedies, herbs, supplements, adjustments, and more. But here is what happened when one single type of food was removed from those patients' diets. Improved ability to learn, improved interest in school, improved concentration, no more medication for depression problems, no more avoidance of meeting people, expected full recovery of ataxia problem. Ataxia is the inability to coordinate muscle movements. Improved gross motor skills, they were delayed in some cases. Improved physical growth, the kids were smaller than expected. Went from bottom of the class to the top of his class after 3 months on the diet. Found a hunger for learning. Improved mood with less crossness and crankiness. Improved development to catch up with peers. Improved intellect with definite increases in intelligence. Grade point average went from 2.5 to 3.9. Many have now acquired college degrees. They came alive academically. Improved ability to meet daily challenges. Improved speed of learning, they were quicker in her studies. Absenteeism is no longer a problem. Lots of stories coming out of withdrawn states socially to an outgoing one, running for student council, for example, more motivated in doing well and meeting people. Increased well-being and better brain chemistry, no more brain fog, improved reading, improved temperament in children. That food that was removed was gluten and nothing, absolutely nothing else. So, imagine what happens if one tries to treat symptoms caused by gluten while still ingesting gluten daily. Well, nothing. Total failure of treatment. The same goes with other types of food causing harm. The definition by excellence of obstacle to cure to be removed before attempting anything else, or at least at the same time. And as soon as I started implementing that, my success rate and its speed rocketed. Sometimes having patients decided that they did not need anything else, so well they felt. There are many ways to repair an organ. First, by removing the toxic foods, but also giving foods that have a specific benefit to said organ or system. Supplements in the form of specific vitamins, minerals, and amino acids, using the homeopathic SAR codes, which are potentized healthy organs. Those will give the metabolism the blueprint, the template, to properly rebuild the diseased organ. Specific herbs, chemotherapeutic remedies, and traditional formulas. Adjustments as needed through osteopathic manipulation, craniosacral therapy, orthobionomy, visceral manipulation, as well as acupuncture. The scope is vast and can satisfy anyone practicing any form of medicine. But here, everything must be prescribed with specificity as much as possible, even though there are wide overlaps between organs and system, as well as with the following points of drainage and detoxification. For drainage, we use potentized remedies with an organotropism and known clinical results. Often herbal remedies that are the most ancient form of medicine that even animals use instinctively. But we generally know why through phytopharmacology and also through the thousands of years of clinical human experimentation. There is no argument with continuous success. The more modern herbal approach, that is chemotherapy, all forms of manual medicine, which include traditional practices like yoga, tai chi, and qigong, all help restore proper mobility and motility of organs and improve their functions. Just witness the medical literature about those methods. This is what we're going to use for drainage. What will we use for detoxification? We use specific homeopathic techniques known as isotherapy or isopathy, where the offending agent, when known, is put to work in dynamized form to specifically help with their expulsion. We use some foods and supplements that are known to be extremely effective for the removal of toxins, either specific or more general. The same goes for herbs and chemotherapeutic remedies. It becomes quite clear how those three phases are intricate but must be considered in the proper order. There's no point in trying to increase diuresis for elimination before the kidneys are brought back to their optimal function. This is the reason why so many over-the-counter spring detoxes fail miserably and sometimes aggravate the patient. Poisons that were relatively safely stored are suddenly released in the bloodstream but cannot be eliminated. You can easily guess what happens then.